Welcome to Your Gal Friday, a podcast about female leaders, innovators, and rule breakers. Each week, your hosts, Kate and Phoebe, will shine a spotlight on an amazing gal and talk about what we can all learn from her. Brought to you by Gal's Guide to the Galaxy. So Phoebe is moving this week, ladies and gentlemen, and we thought we would try our hands at a mini cast. And that gives you, our listeners, a little kind of peek behind the curtain of what we do in between episodes. And actually, one of the things that we do when we have picked the gal is we come up with kind of a list of our own personal questions that we have about them. Things we kind of want to know. So we thought we would kind of, briefly, ever so briefly, just kind of run through what questions we have. As next Friday, we're going to bring to you a full episode about J.K. Rowling.
Absolutely.
So yes, dun 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 dun. So I guess we could probably start a little bit with, neither of us have read all the books, right?
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely right.
Yes, exactly. Have you read any of them? I have read 2 of them.
Well,
that's as far as I got.
I made the mistake of watching the 2 movies first.
Ah, see,
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
So once I know the ending to a story, I'm really not super interested. And
It's fair. A lot of people are.
Yeah, reading a book already knowing what's happening is difficult. But after watching the first 2 movies, I tried to listen to the audiobook for the first one, because somebody tried to get me into it, and I couldn't do it. I was like, I couldn't do it. I just...
Isn't it narrated by Stephen Fry, I think? I mean, if I remember right, if it is Stephen Fry, I love his voice.
Yeah, no, it was...
That would help me.
My problem is, the first 2 movies, they were kind of the same movie, and that, I mean, they're the same plot.
Because it's a year in school.
Yeah, it's just another year, it's just another thing, Harry Potter's the best, blah, 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 okay. If it was...
Magical wizard kid.
Yeah, magical wizard stuff. First off, not a huge fan of teenagers, no offense, but, I just don't...
Right. Teenage movies and stuff,
I just don't jive with it that well. Second off, I don't really like Harry Potter. I'm sorry. I'm sure.
There you go.
I've become convinced, though, that my death will be from a Harry Potter fan when I inevitably say I don't like Harry Potter.
You are putting a bullseye on your face. No, you're not.
No, but in my defense, if everything was called Hermione Granger, I'd be totally on board with that.
Right.
I just
exactly.
don't like the character itself of Harry Potter. I like the nuances of the stories. I like the different side characters. And
right.
I mean, there's so many things I do like, but when it comes down to it, I don't like the main character, so I just can't stick with it.
Especially for a book,
right.
Because, I mean, in a movie, you've got about 2.5 hours
right.
with the Harry Potter movies. And it's like, okay, visual, eye candy, story, it moves.
Totally.
But a book, sometimes you're dedicating, especially I'm a slow reader, so I'm dedicating a week or a month.
Absolutely.
So I really got to get into a character. Yeah. The reason why I read the first 2 books, it's kind of silly of me. Well, I mean, writers will understand. I read it because I was writing novels at the time. Mm-hmm. Only one of them ever got published because I'm really bad at getting books out there.
Hey, but you got books out there.
I did get it out there. I did. I have 4 books. One of them is a novel because novels terrify me. It's so many words and I'm dyslexic. So I'm worried I'll mess all of them up. I have 3 editors whenever I'm deciding to actually publish a book. But when I was writing, and especially when I was writing short stories, I mean, JK was everywhere at the time.
Yeah.
She was the biggest success in the world. And so I'm like, well, then I'm going to read it as a study. What makes these books so popular? I break it down. And it was intriguing to me because I found, to me anyway, what the nugget of wisdom I took was she starts every chapter with a question. She ends the chapter with the answer to that question, with then posing an even more complicated question that you do not know how she's going to solve it.
Wow.
So it keeps you page turning.
Cool. Yeah.
So that's what I learned. So, reading the 2 books, I'm like, okay, I've got the one kernel of how magical, do you see what I did there?
I see what you did.
These books can be, especially to kids, because I did want to write young adult books, actually. I love young adult books.
Oh, yeah. I read young adult books. I just don't like young adults. I'm just a weirdo.
Yeah. It's fun. That's why there's so many books out there, so many movies out there, to each his own.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we both agree, even though we're not super Harry Potter fans, we do really like JK.
Oh my
we're
gosh,
actually kind of interested and enthralled and like, you know.
Every time I see quotes by JK or like just her Twitter page or something, I'm just like, no, she's spot on. I wish I liked Harry Potter because I want to read it, I want to support her, but I don't, so what do I do with my life?
Exactly. You like the tweet, you share it, you keep the meme. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what you do.
Exactly. Alternatively, I did like, what's it called?
Was it her commencement speech or the other Fantastic Beasts book?
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Yes, that was really cool.
That was really awesome,
that one.
And my brother even got me the book for Fantastic Beasts, which is actually a screenplay.
Nice.
So, yeah, I have that version of it. A little nerding out for that. So I'm like, oh, it just comes out down to I just don't like Harry Potter. And then my boyfriend's like, no, I need to make you watch the other ones because it gets better. And I'm like, well, he does get older, so maybe.
He does get older. He has more adult-like problems.
Yeah, no, maybe that would be okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So, the questions that I really kind of want to know more about, I do want to know about her pen name. The JK, and why she decided to go with that. So I'm curious to know about her pen name.
Because her name is Joanne, or Joe, or wait, is it Joanne or Joanna? Shoot.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the other thing. I don't know if it's Joanne or Joanna. There is an A at the end of it, but does she pronounce it?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because some people don't pronounce the A. Yeah.
Right. But in her biography, she's Joe.
Joe. Yep.
But we know her as J.K. Rowling, so I'm like, I want to go call her J.K., but she calls herself Joe, or at least the biography calls her Joe. I'm so confused.
Exactly. Whichever way we go, I don't think it'll be wrong.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
I think she likes Joe, so there's that, but I mean, the world knows her as J.K. I always shorten it to J.K. when I talk about her. It is weird, though, that globally you say those two initials and people know what you're talking about.
Really? Globally?
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yup. I also wanted to know if she had other books. I heard that she wrote like thrillers under another name.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that would be cool to see what other books are out there, what other stuff she's working on. Totally. Another thing I do want to know if she ever got married again. Because a lot of the story that you hear is, this, single mother, living on government benefits and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? People have lives beyond, a couple month period. I think it might be unfair that we keep labeling her that. So I'd like to, just for my own benefit, I don't need to dig into, seriously into her current family life. That's another thing. She is our first gal we're going to be talking about that is still alive.
That is so true, and it's very interesting.
It's nerve-wracking.
I almost feel weird. It is nerve-wracking. I'm like,
yeah, it really is.
Because it's like, what if she could actually come back and see this? Like,
I know.
Oh my gosh. What if that happened? I mean, you never know. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right, exactly.
And then do we talk about her different? I don't think we talk about her any differently because she's still alive.
I don't think we will. I think what it is it's our nervousness. I think our preparation is just more hyper aware of not only that she is still alive, but her family is still alive. You know what I mean?
Still alive. Her fans are still alive. I mean, like,
yes, she has a legacy that she's building.
Yeah, she's like currently doing this, so it's like, oh, we want to add to it. We don't want to mess with the flow here,
Right. It's kind of like a, this is what we know so far kind of gal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is to catch you up.
Oh my gosh, there's not gonna... This is really dumb that I'm like just realizing this, but there's not gonna be a how she died like segment.
I know. We get so sad. We always
do,
have that,
God.
Now it's a downer. We do dread that.
we almost like take turns. We're like, okay, it's your turn to do this.
it does make us sad, and we don't,
It does.
we don't want to talk about the death of somebody we've been living with for a week or two.
Right.
But it is important to the history and to the
Right.
story.
You can't not say it.
But yeah,
it's
we don't
like,
have to do that this week.
right, yay! That's awesome.
The little things we get excited about.
Yeah, it's true.
And I know that you are going to dig into this, but I am very excited to know about her charities because I don't know
Totally.
that
Oh
much
my
about them.
gosh.
I just
I
know
don't
that she
either.
has them.
Right, but that makes me really
Yeah.
excited to learn more
Yes.
about
I even want to know if this is true. I heard a statement that JK is one of the first billionaires, or at least a billionaire, if not the first, to lose her billionaire status from donating so much to charities and
that. That's
goodwill.
so
I would like to know if that's
cool.
true.
I would like to know
because
if that's true.
I hope it's true.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
But it's worth knowing because that's really cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. I'm trying to think the other things that I want to know is I love all the writer stuff. So like how she got the idea, how long it took her, just anything about creativity. I like to know the process because it's
Totally.
like a fingerprint and it's unique
she-
to every single person.
It is, and she created an entire world. Like, how do
I
you
know.
even start doing that?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
that's-
and how long
that's
does that take?
Yeah, that's a huge undertaking. Like, how do you even start? Like, oh, suddenly I'm gonna create this whole. Like, she created different foods. Like, how do you even
Right.
do that? Like,
Yup. There's major creativity happening there.
yeah.
I love it. And I think the other one I have is I would like to know to a certain extent, how did success change her? Because
Totally.
this was a lot of success all at once.
Totally.
And I don't think there's much in life that prepares you for this kind of success.
No.
And so, it would be something interesting to learn, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Kind of like a tool for the toolbox sort of thing. And even if she hasn't totally figured it out or, absorbed it sort of thing, that is fine too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am curious to know about the writer versus they made her movies thing.
Yes.
Like, how much was
very
she
true.
involved? Like, I mean, I don't know how much we can know about that, but I'm very curious about that.
Right, absolutely. Digging into the movie side because I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing you do here is when a new movie would come out, people would be like, the book is better. Oh, there was so much more in the book.
Every
So they
time.
are different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the difference between books and movies.
It is. It's hard to fit a book that takes you 2 weeks to read into a 2-hour movie. That's
Oh, yeah.
just always how it is, you know?
Exactly. My late friend Deborah Kemp, she had a novel that she very much wanted me to write the screenplay for.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to explain it, but I knew the best way to really kind of get to the nuts and bolts of it was to take the first 2 chapters and show her just how much that translated into a movie script.
Right.
The first 2 chapters only translated to about a paragraph of script.
Wow.
Because it was in the character's head. And if it's not,
Right.
if the character isn't saying it, speaking it, doing it, or touching it,
Yeah, no.
it's not in a script. And so I'm like, well, then this is what would translate from those first 2 chapters. She's like, whoa.
Right.
And I'm like, but she had enough in the book that it would make a movie. It's just
Right.
the process of it. It's,
But
it's not verbatim.
It's good to have perspective, though, because,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. Like they say in script writing, if it doesn't move the plot forward or grow a character,
Mhm.
it doesn't make it into even the script. So
Right.
it's
It's
just
a very cruel
lean.
format,
It is,
but it is the
really
way it is. Yeah.
Yep.
See, yes.
So interesting.
So to get all that wizarding world into a screenplay, I'm sure
Yeah.
that had to be nerve-wracking
Oh, man.
too.
That'd be so hard. How do you create a world in a screenplay? I've written screenplays. I don't know how to do this. I should look
I
into
know.
that.
I know, right? Maybe the studying of JK and then, studying other well, I mean you can also study Tolkien as well as far as
Totally.
world building to then relate to, and that took a very long time to get to film as well. So it was
Right.
animation first
Right.
because of
It
certain
was.
technical things like dragons and hobbits.
Yeah. I actually saw the animated movies for that. I know this is a
Yes.
rabbit trail, but I saw the animated movies first. Thank you, Mom.
Ah, there you go. You've got to. Oh, yeah, I did too. Is there anything else that you kind of have, that you want to know about JK this week, or that you're excited to kind of find out?
Oh, yes. So, to start from the beginning, so to speak, I always like how we cover like where people are born and where they're from and all that stuff. I really am always interested to know about that because I like people's backgrounds. It's interesting with JK because like she grew up in Europe but where I don't know, but I think she like hopped around a lot. I don't know.
That's what
I want to learn
I've
more.
seen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think so. So dun 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 dun.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, and she was born in 1965. So, I mean, granted, giving away my age, she's not much older than me.
That's awesome.
I'm an old person.
You are not.
I like to keep saying it because then you say, no, you're not.
Oh, I see how it
is. That's how it works when you get old. You keep, I'm so unhealthy. Oh, you're so healthy. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're so... Oh my gosh.
It's a terrible trick.
Hey, whatever works, man.
Cool beans. So I hope that kind of whets your appetite a little bit for the wizarding magic. So we're going to dig into JK's life and, the legacy she's kind of left so far. We're all excited to bring her to life for you in a Your Gal Friday episode next week. So this has been a glorious mini cast. Let us know if you like these.
Yeah, absolutely. I really want to know if you like this.
These are very easy for us to do. It's just, our thought processes as we go in. We just didn't know if it was going to be interesting to anybody. So let us know. We are on Facebook and we are on Twitter. Facebook, we are at Your Gal Friday. Twitter, we are actually at Gals Guide Galaxy, our network home. So thank you very much. And we will be talking to you next Friday. Thank you. For more information about this week's Gal, or to check out our previous episodes, visit galsguide.org. To support the show, visit the Gals Guide Patreon page. We've got great perks like behind the scenes, early access, and private live streams. Thank you so much for subscribing to Your Gal Friday.